It's Monday, 11:01 a.m. on the West Coast, and you are hanging out with your pal Hal. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for kicking it right here in Backchannel. I am Hal Rudnick. I'm going to be spending the next 2 hours with you, 11 to 1 on the West Coast, 2 to 4 on the East Coast. And how's your Monday going? I want to communicate with you. I want to know what you're up to. And I just want to hang out with you. And what are we going to do while we're hanging out? Oh, we're going to have maybe the time of our lives, maybe the best 2 hours of your Monday. But here's my guarantee, this will definitely be 2 hours. That's the Your Pal Hal guarantee. And I'm excited to spend some time with you. We're going to talk about some trending topics, some news. We're going to talk entertainment. We're going to talk weekend box office. We're going to do a little bit of comedy, maybe a couple of shenanigans. We might get after it with some of that stuff. And you're invited to participate. I would love to hear from you. So here's how you do that. Get your devices attention. Hey, Eggy joined the stream. Eggy, good to see you. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? I don't know. Let me know if I am. Oh, welcome, Chicago. Chicago's in the house. Minnesota's in the house. Stephen, Liv Harrison in Texas. Live large, Liv. Freddie in Louisiana. Am I pronouncing that right? Do you say Louisiana or Louisiana? We got Nathan in Texas, and good times are happening. So here's how you participate. You get your device's attention, whatever the word is, echo or something that rhymes with um, uh, Bebe Rexha. Okay, there's a device that rhymes with that pop star's name. And then you use the word say. Say is the magic word, and then you can say anything. So, what did you do this weekend? Say, I climbed to the top of Mount Everest. Say, I didn't leave my couch for the entire weekend. Say, I binge watched Squid Game. Say, I did anything at all. So, get your device's attention, use the word say. And then also, you can participate on your computer, on your laptop by going to backchannel.tv and chit chatting with us. I would love to hear from you. What did you do? What's going on? Are you snacking on anything? This is always a very snack friendly zone. I want to know what you're snacking on. I just ate some carrots. I got some almonds on deck in case I get a little peckish. So I'm all set. I got beverages locked and loaded, coffee. I need my coffee all day long. Are you an inveterate coffee enthusiast? Let us know how much coffee you're drinking. How do you take your coffee? What's your Starbucks order? I want to hear from you. So join the party. And lighting our way through the dark tunnel of streaming is producer Travis. Producer Travis, what's happening in your part of the world?
Hello, hello. I am currently sitting here unwashed. Our water is off today for a few hours, and it is just really messing up my whole thing.
Travis, you're saying you're unwashed. How's that different from any other day? I'm kidding. That's a little Monday morning humor. Travis, listen, we've never met in real life.
No.
We're only IRL pals. But you give off an aura of cleanliness. I bet I bet if we met in real life, there would be no cartoon stink lines coming off.
That would be incredible. Thank you very much. I like to keep myself pretty hygienic for just my own sanity. So as much as
Okay, let
this
me put you
is
on the spot here.
all
Let me put
right,
you on the spot. Um, During the pandemic, during
yes.
quarantine, did your personal hygiene take a hit at all, or did you remain true to the game, showering on the daily? Or were you like, all right, I could cut corners?
Well, I would say
This
that,
is, remember, we have an honesty policy with our audience.
of course, I'm under oath. I swear an oath before we go live every day.
Thank you. Thank you for you put your
Put my
hand
hand.
on a, you put your hand on top of a stack of everything. A
Yeah,
Bible, a Quran, the Torah, and L. Ron Hubbard's Dianetics. Isn't that
yeah,
true?
that's true. Next week I'm gonna add a phone book.
Nice, nice. And that's your you're dedicating yourself in the phone book, you're swearing to all the people in the phone book and all of the businesses, both the
Ex-
white and the yellow pages.
exactly. So I mean it when I say during quarantine,
Hmm.
I showered the same amount. What did slip, unfortunately, was my my hair. It just there was no. I didn't want to take the plunge of doing the self haircut because I don't trust myself that much like you do. I have somebody who cuts my hair. I like them
Right.
very much. Other people that had cut their own hair said, "I'll cut your hair," and I said, "You stay away from me with those scissors. I'm gonna wait for Judy. Judy's the only one that cuts this hair."
Shout out Judy, Travis's trusty barber, hairstylist, personal groomer. And Travis, I got to say, you put me to shame. You come in here well coiffed, guns blazing in the hair department every day. Me, I threw a little product in. I cut my own hair. I talked about this famously, famous to me. And some friends asked me the other. It's always a little bit embarrassing when I broach that topic with folks because it's like, oh, so like someone asked me, "Did you get a haircut?" We went out with a group of friends
Yeah.
the other night, and I said, "Well, here's a fun fact for you. Been cutting my own hair." And then I explain how we bought clippers to start grooming our own dogs.
Oh yeah.
And those clippers have become Hal's hair cutting implements.
Oh, that's look. We
And
we use what we
I
have,
got my style down.
and it looks good. You look better than any dog I've ever met.
You know what? I'll take it. Travis, I'll take what I can get. Listen, I'll take a bone when I can find it. And you're a better man than I, Travis, because I did start showering less during the pandemic.
We were in a drought.
Absolutely.
I don't
We were
know.
not in a drought. I just didn't care. And you know what? My I don't want to blame my wife, but maybe she enabled me a little bit. But then I told my mom, and my mom scolded me for showering less. So now I've stepped my game back up. Now, but like there was a period there where it's like, okay, every other day I might listen. Maybe my wife and I had an entire weekend of sloth. I am not proud of this, but I come here hat in hand and always honest. And thank you for letting me bear my dirty, literally dirty secrets. Like I mentioned the stink lines to Travis earlier. I'm everything I hate. I was the one with the stink line. What have I become? But I'm clean. I am. I was lathered up this morning. I took a shower. Very proud of myself. I'm a big boy. I took a shower. But that's the trouble, Travis. That's the trouble with like. Listen, if I was meeting you in studio, um, deodorant, teeth brushed, everything. Check all the boxes. I'm not gonna be. You will not catch me slipping.
Mhm.
You're never gonna catch me riding dirty. But in if I'm in my home studio,
Yeah.
which is basically my office and a blue screen setup,
Right.
and um, I might go a day where you wouldn't want to be right up in here. I'm pointing to my armpits for those who but I'm just keeping it 100. That is the Your Pal Hal promise. Keep it, always keep it 100. Travis, quick question. Did you do anything fun this weekend?
This weekend, what did I get up to? I know I did. Oh yeah, a friend came into town. I caught up with him. He's a van lifer these days.
Whoa,
So I got to
okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. I got to see the renovation he did, and catch up, see what he's doing. We used to play in bands together in high school, and he's still playing music, so it's a little more uh, of a work situation because he can essentially tour and live wherever he wants. He can go from wherever he wants, city to the city. So, for instance, during the fire season in California, he just screwed off across the country, stopping at places, playing some music, and having a good time.
Nice. Good for him. And shout out to all of our van lifers out there. That's I mean, listen, that's a degree of freedom. You're a traveler. You're, in the words of Willie Nelson, you're on the road again. In the words of Johnny Cash, you've been everywhere, man. You've been everywhere, and other songs. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I could hack it at this point. I'd go. I'd like a nice road trip in a van. Like I'd like to hop in a van. I'm a huge baseball fan. I wouldn't mind
Oh,
like touring every ballpark in the country or something like
that'd
that.
be cool.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
I think that'd be pretty sick.
it was interesting because it had the same setup as you would imagine an RV would, but just condensed.
Hmm.
So again, I don't know
Sure.
if I could. For my taste, the toilet was too close to the oven. Just
Uh-huh.
those are
Oh,
two
because
things I don't.
you'd be letting out those methane blasts that will, if there's a fire in the oven, it's going to light the whole van up.
I mean,
Is
worst
that what
case
you're saying?
scenario. That's the worst case. I was just thinking, just for the feng shui of it, that toilet is too close to that oven.
More like dung shui, dung, dung, because that's what goes in the toy toy.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having too much fun already. You're hanging out with your pal Hal on the back channel. Travis, I had a fun weekend. I ate some delicious pizza. Saturday night we had a pizza party, and then my wife and a friend of ours, and then the next day I ate pizza for 2 out of 3 meals, um, and with the leftovers. We ordered 3 small pies, and then and Friday night I did my one of my first live comedy shows in, boy, like it might have been my first live comedy show in like a year and a half, 2 years since the pandemic.
Congratulations. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
thank you. It was a fun. It was a talk show. It was a monthly talk show where they bring in a new host every month, and they do like a late night talk show. And this month's host was star of Full House, Jodie Sweetin,
That's right. I remember that.
one of the Tanner girls. What's Jodie Sweetin's character name? Not
Oh,
yeah.
she
Um,
plays.
we are both efforting this information.
Uh, um, Stephanie
Uh,
Tanner. Stephanie Tanner.
Stephanie Tanner, of course. America's sweetheart, Stephanie Tanner. She was a delight. The show was very fun. I was happy with my line delivery and the amount of laughs I got in what I did.
All
Very,
right.
very good times. Yeah, so that is, see, that was the first live comedy show I did, but I've been doing stuff on Twitch and stuff and doing different characters,
Oh
but
yeah.
in front of a small audience. It was a smaller theater, and it was great. Good times. Good
Glad
to
to
be
hear it.
back out in the world a little bit.
All right.
Travis, let's jump into a little segment called the Monday Riff Around. Just going to talk about a couple of things that that I also crossed paths with this weekend. So, what else over the weekend? Okay, so yesterday was watching a little bit of football.
Mhm.
My fantasy football teams are both like, one is like I need miracles to happen for me to make the playoffs. One, I'm still in the hunt, and I was watching the Green Bay Packers Minnesota Vikings game, a
Oh.
NFC Central rivalry there, and I was just thinking, how much fun would it have been if the announcers were just able to make vaccine and COVID jokes at the expense of Aaron Rodgers. Like, I was, because if it was me, I would not have the personal restraint. Okay.
Mm-mm.
David just joined the stream. David, welcome to the party, pal. Coming to us from Massachusetts. Hey, go Celtics. So I was watching and I was like, these football announcers have massive restraint for not just going in on Aaron Rodgers. And I was just thinking of some of the lines I would have said, like if I was an NFL broadcaster and I
Mhm.
was broadcasting Aaron Rodgers, one of Aaron Rodgers games, post his famously, he lied about getting vaccinated and then he got suspended and all this stuff.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
would have been like, ooh, he avoided that pass rush like he avoided Pfizer. Or That linebacker was all over Rodgers like ivermectin on Joe Rogan.
Oh.
Because Aaron Rodgers famously took ivermectin, famously consulted with one of the top medical consultants in the country, Joe Rogan. Here's another one. Looks like he did his own research by calling that audible. That one sent in to me by a friend of mine on Twitter. And then one more. Ooh, he is sacked by half the Minnesota defense. Call them the woke mob.
that's a good one. I like that one a lot.
Because Aaron Rodgers saying that he was being attacked by the woke mob. Do you have any thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Do you have any jokes at Aaron Rodgers' expense? Let us know right here on Backchannel. You can talk to your device, get your device's attention, whatever the keyword is, and then use the magic word say, and then you could say anything to us. Say, Aaron Rodgers has it right, I am unvaccinated. Or say, or give us a joke. Ooh, that receiver caught that ball like Aaron caught COVID. Poor taste, maybe slightly, but it is true. It is true, Aaron. I'm glad he's okay. Listen, here's my take on COVID and vaccines, plain and simple. Whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, I hope you're well. Please stay healthy, everybody. That's my only wish. Everything else is just sillies. So talk to your device and also get to backchannel.tv and you can type in some nonsense there and we'll chit chat. We'll have a good time. Listen, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you did this weekend. Let me know if you have any other thoughts. Besides Aaron Rodgers and football, Travis, I watched so is it too early to start watching Christmas movies now? I don't know, but what do you think? No, Travis says no. Some people say Thanksgiving is the cutoff, but Travis, you say when? What do you think? Right after Halloween, like November 1st, the season starts.
One could argue you are beta testing the Christmas season for everybody else.
And one can argue if you start watching Christmas movies too early, you are a beta male. Sorry, I don't know how that came over me. Maybe talking about Joe Rogan brought the alpha out of me.
It's a latent gene in all males.
Yes, my toxic. Listen, I've got a sensitive, caring artist in me, and I've also, I've got a toxic bro in me who just I know how to fist pump and high five if I go to a sports bar. That guy is inside me. Okay, I keep him like he's in a cage. Sometimes he gets out.
Inside all of us, there are two wolves and then a bro.
Yeah, two wolves and a bro, or just two wolves. One is a caring, sensitive artist, and one is a bro.
Yeah. Now just imagine a bro with one of those bucket, flat caps and pack of Natty Ice.
Oh yeah, a flat billed cap, a Natty Ice. Shoot, dude, that sounds like a party. Okay, so yeah, I think it is. We're in Thanksgiving week. Absolutely, you can start watching Christmas movies. You have your Pal Hal go ahead to start watching Christmas movies. Yesterday, I came into the living room and my wife was watching the Muppet Christmas Carol, which is really good, really good. First off, you have the esteemed actor Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge. That's a pretty solid choice for Scrooge. Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge. Hello, I'm Michael Caine. Bob Cratchit, was I too mean to you? I apologise. Here is a giant turkey. That's my Michael Caine, a little bit, just breaking off a little Michael Caine there. So I enjoying the hell out of this Muppet Christmas Carol. So
Mhm.
good. But here's my question: Piggy and Kermit. Kermit is Bob Cratchit in this movie.
Mhm.
Miss Piggy is Mrs. Cratchit.
Mhm.
They're married. Okay, so I assume that they have done the deed because they have a gaggle of children. They have like
Mhm.
5 kids at least,
Mhm.
including Tiny Tim, which is like a little frog with crutches and heartbreaking. Now, here's my question though: there are like 2 boys and 3 girls. The 2 boys are frogs that look exactly like Kermit. The 3 girls are pigs that look exactly like Miss Piggy.
Mhm.
If they consummated the relationship, got pregnant, had these babies, how come they are not horrific frog pig hybrids? How come how come why come these the offspring of Kermie and Piggy are not like webbed, like one webbed foot, one hoof, a snout, but frog eyes, no pig ears, or a frog with a curly pigtail, just some straight up Island of Dr. Moreau. I'm playing God with but to DNA mixing of these creatures. That's like, listen, it would have been off putting, but I would have gotten on board with it. Travis, do you have any answer for me?
It could be a Brady Bunch scenario. That's the only other.
Okay.
That's
So in a Brady Bunch scenario, um,
Kermit had a
Kermit
wife
and
who
Piggy
died.
Kermit and Piggy were both in same species relationships. So
Mhm.
Kermit the frog
Mhm.
was with a frog, maybe
Mhm.
a toad, but
Mhm.
probably a frog. And then Piggy was with a pig, hog, something. And they had their kids, and then their spouses died. Very sad. That's a sad Muppet story to tell. And then they met each other and got married. You know what? So maybe, but like Tiny Tim's so young. It's like when. Well, he's old enough to talk though. I don't know. I
It's
don't
hard.
know what it is. Then someone, can you find the picture? I posted something about this, and then someone posted a picture from Family Guy. I guess Family Guy addressed this. Here's the thing, by the way. If you have any joke or thought about any media from the last 20 years, Family Guy did it. Okay, that's like a comedy secret. Family Guy done it already.
Mhm. Mhm.
I want to know, do you have any thoughts on this? Why? What do you think? Do you want to see these the strange hybrid uh, of Piggy and Kermit, or are you glad that we were spared that nightmare that nightmare image? And and then also in another incarnation of Muppets with Kermie and Piggy, I I guess there was also a pink frog and a green pig. So that showed we've seen that in Muppet lore. But what is canon? What is canon? I mean, this is just like they hired like this is just Muppets, like they're not playing themselves. I want to know, what is Muppet canon? What is Kermit and Piggy? What is the situation there? Let us know. You can go on your computer to backchannel.tv and leave us some comments. Would love to hear from you. Do you have any thoughts about? Also, we're talking about Christmas movies. I'm going to be asking this question a bunch. We're going to be shouting it out from the hills. What is your favorite Christmas movie of all time? Anytime's a good time to tell us what you love to watch in the Thanksgiving season, in the Christmas season. Yeah, I'm just asking that question. Okay, Travis, were you able to find any of those horrific images?
Yeah. I found some of the threads. I don't recommend anyone look up the Family Guy thing ever. I don't
Oh,
recommend
yeah,
that at all.
it's nightmarish. Would it get us pulled down off the air if we showed it?
I might pull it down just out of I don't want to look at it. Um, but the I don't know what Muppet property this is from, but you were right. There was a scene with a green pig and a pink frog in a carriage at
There
some
we
point.
go. There we go. They've passed their genes along,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. So it's not quite the island of Doctor Moreau. It's not quite like Doctor Frankenstein's laboratory,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a little disconcerting. It's a
Yeah,
little off-putting. So
and I was
listen, to keep people at bay, to keep people at happy, keep the frogs froggy and the pigs piggy, and that's it.
yeah,
But
that's
I
right.
want to see a little frog, just all frog, but with a pig snout. You are robbing me of that joy, that very special joy. Um, One more story, Travis, that I want to hit on here, and then we're going to jump over to Twitter trending topics. This
Yeah.
might even be a Twitter trending topic because Adele is always trending, pop diva, a queen, the wonderful and talented Adele. One of the best voices in pop music today. Well, apparently, a interviewer from Australia got the good get, and you got the Adele interview hooked up. Let's face it, Travis, that's a good get, right? He had to fly 10,000 miles. He had to fly from Australia to another continent to interview Adele. And then during the interview, he was asked if he had listened to Adele's new album titled 30.
Mm-hmm.
Had he listened to Adele's new album? He said no, and they scrapped the interview. They wrapped it, they scrapped it, they put a bow on it. It was done, not giving him the footage. SOL, as the kids say, or as people for decades have been saying. And he was done. Like, flew 10,000 miles for the Adele interview. And that's it. So here's my advice to any, because I've interviewed a lot of celebrities in my time. I just mentioned that I told you a couple of weeks ago I was in New York interviewing the cast of Dexter, and listen, I've been here and there. I've annoyed a lot of people by sticking microphones in their faces. And here's my tip to you: lie, fib. Okay, that's it. Here's the thing. Did you listen to my new album? Oh, sorry. Let me do an Adele voice. Did you listen to my new album? Oh, yes. So good. So good. What's your favorite song off the album? Too hard to choose. All bangers, all killer, no filler. Like, what a journey that album was. Adele, you've done it again. You sell it with effusive praise, and then you get out of there, move on to the next question, and you don't fly 10,000 miles in vain. That's what I'm saying. You know who is good at this? I hate to say this because I'm not a fan. Donald Trump. Donald Trump was good at this because, like, he got asked. Listen, he's the ultimate garbage con man. He got asked, what what's your favorite book? And he said, The Art of the Deal and the Bible. Oh, okay. And then he was asked point blank, what's your favorite passage in the Bible? And he said, that's a very personal question. I'm not going to answer that. It's too personal. Yeah, right. Like, the only time he's ever held a Bible was from that fake ass photo op that he did in front of that church
Right.
when the police got all those peaceful protesters out of the way. Travis, go ahead. Ask. I want you to ask me two questions. To
Okay.
ask me any specific movie. If I saw that movie, and then ask me follow up. What was my favorite scene from that movie? Go ahead.
Hal, have you seen the legal thriller Michael Clayton?
Oh yes, loved it. Loved it.
What was your favorite part?
You know what? It's so tough to choose. I don't want to pick one because there are too many elements working in that film, and that would be a slight against one of the actors, and that would be that. I think that would take away from my love of the entire film. Moving on. Next question. See, I,
That's
I, I
right.
navigate. You
Yeah.
navigate. So that interviewer dropped the ball, fumbled the bag, the whole everything.
Yep.
Did you were you able to find that story, Travis?
Yeah, I found the
Did
story. Some interesting pieces about this. One,
yeah.
it was what had happened was during the interview, the album wasn't yet out. As I'm sure, I mean, you pulled this article.
Okay,
It wasn't yet
okay.
out, and he didn't know that he had been emailed an advanced copy of the album, and he said, "quote It's the most important email I have ever missed." And he was taken off the air
Wow.
for a week.
Mm, mm.
That's rough.
Yeah. Gotta check the emails. Gotta check the emails. But you know what? Did he have a producer who was, point person on that? Did you listen to the album? Touch base with this guy? Make sure he's got all his ducks in a row? Uh, like, I know producer Travis wouldn't let that slip, right?
No, not at all. That's
Hell
in my
no.
early days of doing anything. I used to interview bands for magazines, and you better believe I was making. I knew everything. I knew everything going in there.
Damn right. Producer Travis keeping it on point. It is 11:33. You are hanging out with your pal Hal on Backchannel. So glad to be with you on this Monday. I hope you're having a good Monday. Do you love Mondays or you like Garfield? Do you hate Mondays but love lasagna? Let us know in the chat what you're up to this Monday. Are you already off and just getting ready for Thanksgiving? Are you in your PJs? Stacy just joined the stream. Stacy, welcome to the party. Our pal Stacy from Texas. Hello, Stacy. Stacy saying hello, and you can do the same thing. Address your device, and then use the word say, and then add your comment. Say, I did not get out of bed this weekend. Or say, I partied all weekend long. I need to go into rehab now because I partied so hard. God forbid. I hope you didn't party that hard. But if you did, you know what? You took it to the next level. Or if you also want to spent Stacy spent the weekend with her dad. That's awesome. Very cool. Nice to see family. I like it. You can also go to backchannel.tv if you want to chat with us on your computer, on your device, backchannel.tv, and tell us what you're up to. We're also live on YouTube right now. So if you want to, if you need visual, if you want that visual, if you want to see me in my light blue Big League Chew bubblegum shirt and producer Travis popping in here and there, go to YouTube and check out Backchannel there. Travis, what do you say we check out some trending topics? What's trending in the Twitterverse, the Twitter sphere? All right. Oh, so I was already looking. There are a couple things trending. R.I.P. Always sad to say R.I.P. Sometimes less sad than others, but still sad. Billy the Goat. Billy the Goat. Was he a Billy Goat? I don't know. That might be a misnomer if he wasn't a Billy Goat. But this this a very famous goat. Let's can we see some pictures? Oh, there he is, wearing cool shades with a he's on this lady's lap, and they're both looking hella cool. Oh, Billy the goat, I guess was a famous goat that people had heard of. I am not quite familiar with Billy the goat, but Travis, do you know this goat? Are you friends with this goat? Are
I had
you
I had never in my life known
familiar?
that this goat existed, but I'm really sad to see it. I mean, look at this. This is
I guess Stacy knows this goat. Stacy, do you know this goat, or did I? Was that yes in response to something else? Do you know this goat out there? Have you seen this goat memed and just going viral? Being in just being it. This, I guess, this was one of our only goat influencers. I didn't know that a goat could be an influencer. But this goat, you know, getting so much love, and yeah, it's I hope this goat apparently led a good life, and I'm not happy that this goat died. In fact, I feel very bad. I feel bad that this goat died. Was that in poor taste? You know what? It was a goat, but very sad. This was someone's pet. This was a beloved goat, a friend to the people, uh, just oh, a good goat, a good goat. A God bless. We know all dogs go to heaven. Do goats go to heaven? I hope there's a big farm. I hope there's a big old McDonald in the sky, and this goat is just basking, eating all sorts of like grass and weeds and like fruit. Give that goat, give that goat a nice apple. I bet a goat likes an apple, a carrot. Oh, a goat will be all up in carrots. Uh, oh, Stacy says it's actually a billy goat, so that's cool. I am glad to hear that. Texas representing hard today. Liv, Stacy, very nice. Texas coming in strong. And there's a guy. When I drive around, I live in Los Angeles, and when I drive around Hollywood, there's a goat. Like I've seen the same goat being walked by like this dude. Do you
Goat
know the
guy.
goat in Hollywood? The Hollywood
I
goat?
know that. Yes, that he was part of my first one of my first nights out in Los Angeles ever. I was with a friend of
Yes.
mine and his neighbor who was like 5'1" and kind of had the vibe like he might have been a vampire. I don't know. Anyways, we went to these few bars in Hollywood, and then
Yes.
when the night ended, we emerged and it was just bedlam on the streets. There was like a girl that was like sitting on the ground, like eating a pizza, and there were two Italian guys arguing over her, and like her leg was bleeding, and there was just like a mass sea of people. And on the other side of the street, there was this dude with a goat, and I was like, "Where did I move to? What is going on?"
Yeah. That sounds like Hollywood. That sounds like
Yeah,
Hollywood. Basically, Hollywood Boulevard. It there's a pungent odor of urine and marijuana at all
yeah, that was
times.
there too.
Yeah, yeah. One of those smells not so bad. I don't mind the marijuana smell. The urine, less, definitely less. So R.I.P. to our friend, our new friend. Well, no, never our friend. I've never. You know what? I wish he was my friend, Billy the Goat. Uh, that. Yeah, that's why. Oh, that's why they have the saying, "Don't mess with Texas." Well, I wouldn't mind messing with. I wouldn't mind if Texas was a little bit more 420 friendly, but the urine. Oh, yes. Stacy letting us know that Texas does not mess around. I appreciate that. Texas got its own thing going, its own vibe, and it's yeah. Uh, don't mess. Once again, Antonio, welcome to the party. Okay, let's check out another trending topic. Okay. I saw Keanu was trending, and uh, here's the thing: I explored it, and it just seemed to be just a straight up Keanu love fest. Sandra Bullock uh, and Keanu right there. I guess they had a brief romance. We love love here on the Your Pal Hal show on Backchannel, and yeah, I'm always down to old celebrity dating photos. I'm a sucker for that crap. Listen, it is fluff, it is nonsense, but I am here for it. Oh, there's Keanu throwing a baseball. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the good form. He's got the glove and everything. The guy can do no wrong. Listen. He knows martial arts. He's been to the Matrix. He shreds on electric guitar in Bill and Ted's, and he knows gun fu in John Wick. So let us know, what is your favorite Keanu Reeves movie? Do you have a favorite Keanu Reeves movie? Let us know. Like there's some damn good contenders. You got Bill and Ted's. you got The Matrix, you got all of the Wicks, three so far, fourth one coming out, new Matrix in the offing, and then there's some like other choices that are like, oh, this guy's filmography it goes deep. Point Break, so good. Point Break. What about the Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino? Ooh, I'm the devil. Uh, what is? Oh yeah. Thank you. Pulling up the filmography. He was a voice in Toy Story 4. Oh my goodness. Uh, Always Be My Maybe was a fun little deep cut on Netflix, and yeah. So and Keanu, he's just been with us for so long. Like my our relationship with Keanu, like how often do we have relationships that go that deep? If you want to tell us what your favorite all about love, Stacy, thank you. If you want to tell us what your favorite Keanu movie is, let us know in the chat. Get your device's attention, use the word say, and then let us know My Own Private Idaho, or say The Matrix Revolutions, say John Wick 3. So, whatever it is, I want to know what your favorite Keanu Reeves movie is, or you can jump into Backchannel and type in your answer there. We also saw what else is trending. I saw Tucker Carlson is trending, and you know Tucker Carlson, right? The bastion of misinformation, white supremacist, Tucker Carlson. So I guess two of the two longtime contributors to Fox News have left the channel over Tucker Carlson's January 6th special. So the insurrection on Capitol Hill, I guess Tucker Carlson is doing a special on that, also interviewing Kyle Rittenhouse. But January 6th was an attack on the cradle of democracy. This nation, like the, at the very least, this nation is built on checks and balances, free and fair elections. And January 6th, a mob was encouraged by Trump, Steve Bannon, all his cohorts, Rudy Giuliani literally screaming to the crowd, trial by combat, and Tucker Carlson going to be doing a January 6th special that will be highlighting all the conspiracy theories, straight up Mike Lindell, my pillow guy nonsense. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's telling that people who have been in bed with Fox News for like decades, these contributors, and they're like, you know what? It's too much. So when you're like when it's too much for these diehard Fox News guys, uh, it's yeah, it's over the line. Tucker Carlson going into like full Alex Jones territory here, but he was already, I mean, not surprising, already a trash human being. So there you go. Stacy, back to some of the Keanu Reeves stuff. If you want to see him, okay. So Stacy says, I may not have a piano movie, but I know a Toy Story movie that I've watched. Okay. Um, and then Stacy says, if you want a movie with cars, you should watch Fresh Prince of Bel Air. What? Uh, I'm. I know if I want to if I want to see Will Smith and was it Uncle Jeffrey, I'll watch some Fresh Prince. But Will Smith as beloved as Keanu Reeves. And anything else, Travis? Did anything catch your eye here in trending topics?
Well, something that popped up yesterday, as you know, of course, it's Thanksgiving. President Biden has pardoned
Yes.
a turkey. It's
That's
like,
my
I don't know
turkey
if it's
noise.
this one in particular. It's really good. Do a good turkey impression. Um,
Thanks.
I'm not sure which one it is. Oh, there it is. Yep, there's a turkey back here somewhere that's not gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And what else happened?
Long time tradition, pardoning the turkey.
Long
So
time tradition.
yes, so that turkey will get to live out his natural life rather than getting his neck chopped off and stuck, plucked, and stuck in an oven. God, good luck to that turkey. I wonder what he's going to do now that I hope he doesn't go back to his life of crime, this turkey, because he got a stay of execution. It is kind of morbid when you think about it. All these turkeys will be executed and eaten, except this one.
Yep.
We are pardoning. We are pardoning this turkey. So, but congrats to that turkey, congrats to that turkey. And these are some trending topics. Very nice, very nice. Oh, time for our other Twitter oriented segment, our Twitter deep dive, where we take an account of maybe someone famous, maybe a corporation, or in today's case, a mascot, a beloved mascot, and a very cool mascot, but also a little bit of a cheesy mascot. You know, this guy likes to say, it's not easy being cheesy. I'm talking about none other than Chester Cheetah. Travis, let's bring up the Twitter of Fritos, Cheetos, Frito Lay, Cheeto mascot, Chester Cheetah. He is the cheesiest. This is the official Twitter of the official spokes cheetah of Cheetos. Also, the only spokes cheetah of everything, of anything. True dat, true dat. I don't know any spokes cheetahs out there. All right, so he's got a healthy amount of followers, 114,000 and a half. Okay, nicely done, Chester. Getting it done. Looking cool. Always, Chester's always got his shades. Like, let's face it, Chester's got swag. Chester, like, he carries himself like a boss and very cool. I aspire to that. Oh, snap. Chester looking fresh in his fall accoutrements. If you're not getting the visual here, you are missing out. Chester Cheetah has a cap with special ear holes in it. Super cool for his little cheetah ears. He's wearing a dope looking bomber jacket and a sick red scarf. Very cool. Chester. Like, oh, and then the signature shades. Fly as hell. Fly as hell. All right, let's check out a couple of all right, so here's a question. Yes or no? Are Cheetos chips? Travis, where do you fall on this question? Are Cheetos chips?
I'm a purist. I would argue no.
Okay, so yes is winning out by 60 to 40, 60% to 40%, or 60.2 to 39.8. What do you think out there? Oh, Stacy likes Cheetos. Yeah. So yeah, Stacy, trust me, Chester Cheetah looking super fly, super fly. I mean, it's like hashtag goals. But yeah, Stacy is a Cheeto enthusiast. Yeah, like Cheetos aren't my first choice, but I'll go there. Searle, welcome to the party. Searle, thank you for joining us. Stacy says yes, they're just a different type of chip. Yeah, and here's the thing, Travis. I don't mean to blow up your spot here, but are Cheetos found in the chip aisle? The answer is yes. But then also, okay, let me just contradict myself because popcorn is in the chip aisle, and I'll say popcorn, not a chip. Pretzels found in the chip aisle. Are pretzels a chip? No. All right, let's see more of Chester Cheetah's Twitter. Let's see more of what's happening on Chester. Can we scroll? Can we scroll up a little bit? All right, we got Lil Yachty back in the kitchen with First We Feast. For a special Thanksgiving edition. And if you're not going to want to miss this, give it a watch and drop a fire emoji if you're going to try. Oh, so are they making Oh, I think they're making like some. Now this sounds real good. Flaming hot mac and cheese. Lil Yachty, hip hop superstar in the house. Oh, flaming hot farmers market gratin. Damn. Imagine some like Cheeto, like ground up Cheeto on some cheesy potatoes. Mm. Again, I didn't want to do this, but I'm getting hungry today. I am getting way too hungry to I'm getting way too hungry to be on this live stream right now, and I might have to crunch into your ears some almonds because that's all I got on standby. What am I going to have for lunch today? I don't know, but I'm just getting like stupid hungry looking at Chester Cheetah's feed because he's got these Cheeto this Thanksgiving feast, Cheeto au gratin. All right, what else? Defend your Cheetos flavor in the comments. What it like? I don't know. I'm not familiar with all the different Cheetos flavors, so I don't know. All I know is like regular and flamin' hot. Is there like a lime flavor or something? Okay, Travis is looking up Cheeto flavors. Okay, so you do. I see a green. That's always a sign of like lemon lime or something. Can we get that close up on the multiple bags? Yeah, cheddar. What was that? Cheddar sour cream. Oh, we got puffs. We got flamin' hots. We got the straight up crunchy. Oh, cheddar jalapeno. Cheddar jalapeno. What's that light green one over there? We got like, is that like a flame? Oh, that's flamin' hot. All right, yeah, flamin' hot's good. Oh, uh, extra flamin' hot. Oh my God. Here's just there should be a warning. Don't touch your eye. Don't touch your eye if you have if you're eating flaming hot Cheetos because you got the Cheeto finger. Well, that's obvious. Okay, what are you, a rookie? If you're a rookie who just arrived at the Cheeto party, do not touch your nose, eyes. Yeah, maybe don't stick your finger in your ear because, sucker, you're gonna get burned. You're gonna get burned. Flaming hot, too hot. All right. Oh, what is the party size? Okay, let's see some more. Applebee's and Cheetos. Uh, wait, can you get? Whoa, Cheetos boneless wings at Applebee's? Damn it! Am I gonna have to go to Applebee's now? I haven't been to Applebee's in a minute, but I think I have to go to Applebee's now because that looks too good. I'm a sucker for this stuff. All right, let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. What do we got? What do we got? Which Cheeto snack are you? Okay. I'm not a Cheeto snack. I'm offended by this question. I'm a person. But there are a lot more Cheetos than I realized. There's crunchy Cheetos. There's popcorn Cheetos. Cheetos Puffs. Sweetos, which is like looks like a churro Cheeto. Crunchy cheddar jalapeno. Uh, Pepper Puffs, which is a puff shaped like a pepper. Flamin' hot crunchy. Flamin' hot popcorn. Flamin' hot puffs. All right, so okay, put me on the spot. I got to pick one. Uh, huh. I'm going. I'm going. Flamin' hot puff. I'm going flamin' hot puff. I'm a flamin' hot puff. All right. What are you, Travis? What are you? Which one of those things are you? Chester wants to know.
I'm a sweeto.
I can't deny that. Can't deny that. All right, a little more scrolling, a little more scrolling. We're doing a deep dive into the Twitter account of Chester Cheetah. Oh, by the way, Stacy says you should have some cheese puffs on standby so you can eat them up. Hell yeah. Uh, uh, good idea. Absolutely a good idea, Stacy. Raise your hand if your hand is go back. If your hand is if orange is your favorite color. Orange is not my favorite color, but I see what you're getting at there, Cheetah. You know, Cheetos fans keep it spicy for Halloween. We don't only feast on flesh and bones. Oh, Cheetos retweeting the Spirit Halloween store. All right, you know what? Boom! Let's switch gears and check out Spirit Halloween store. Let's go to there. All right. Thank you, Chester Cheetah. We've got enough free promo for the Cheetos and Frito Lay today. Spirit Halloween store, so much fun. It's scary. It's true. That's true. Halloween costumes, Halloween props, Spirit Halloween specialty retail stores are so much fun. It's scary. You know what they need to? Let's pause for one sec. You know what they need to put in their bio? Also, if your business is floundering, if your business is fledgling, we may take over your body. Because that's what Spirit Halloween stores is, the ultimate like poltergeist or parasite. Like, oh, Circuit City, yeah, about that. Bam, out of business. Spirit Halloween. Oh, what happened to that Blockbuster Video? Yeah, don't worry about it. It's a Spirit Halloween store. There was a Lamps Plus, which is, I guess, just a store lamps plus other things, maybe light bulbs. And like I was like, oh yeah, that's a Lamps Plus. That's a Lamps Plus. Driving by it in October, like, oh, it's a Spirit Halloween. Here's the thing, businesses, be afraid, be very afraid, because if your numbers fall, if your fourth quarter is weak, and your your profits are not where you want them to be, your business may close and Spirit Halloween will be there waiting. Spirit Halloween. You know this is true. Spirit Halloween waiting to pounce like the vulture of stores. The body's not even cold, but it's already possessed by Spirit Halloween. All right, let's see a couple of their tweets. Uh, um, what about the okay? Pin tweet. I can't tell what's going on here.
I can give you some context for this.
Hit me.
So Nick Let's Go, who's famously a writer and songwriter for the Tim and Eric gang,
Oh,
last year,
love Tim and Eric.
fantastic. Last year, he wrote a theme song for Spirit Halloween, unprompted, and it did so well that he did it again, and it was so viral because it's pretty. It's in the style of Tim and Eric. It's very funny in that way that's pretty uncomfortable, and it
Yes.
was so popular that Spirit Halloween on social media had to get involved.
Oh, hell yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know, Travis. I'm going to seek that out.
Oh yeah.
Out.
Great time.
All right, keep scrolling. Let's see a few more. So here's the thing. Here's a tweet from November 17th from Spirit Halloween. Do we want Spirit Halloween to go away for and not come back till September until it's time to buy costumes? uh, Here's a nice picture of the princess from The Princess and the Frog. That's very nice. A little costume. Keep going. Scrolling.
As I want to point
Yeah.
out that I love that post Halloween, their branding becomes dress your kid like their favorite princess this holiday.
Oh yes, but here's the thing. I guess you'd have to go online. That's a good point, Travis. So it's like, yeah, dress your kids up for Thanksgiving. But here's the thing: when you're a kid, you wanna be in costume as much as possible. Like that's fun.
That's true.
And usually there's sweets and candies if when you're in costume. So yeah, Princess Tiana, Princess and the Frog, a couple more from Spirit Halloween, then we'll get out of here. By the way, it's noon o'clock, 12 noon on the West Coast. It is 3 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm going to be with you for another hour. You're hanging out with your pal Hal. If you want to talk to us, get your device's attention. Use the word say and then drop whatever info. Oh, there's a creepy Chucky. What did you dress up for Halloween? Yeah, let us know. Do you have any memories of going to a Spirit Halloween store recently? Tell us that. Get your device's attention. Use the word say and talk to us. Stacy said it's not scary here. Well, Stacy, then I guess you're not in a Spirit Halloween store because it's spooky there, and also spooky because it's right now it's like an empty shell of a business because Spirit picks up as November 2nd, like November. They have a couple of days of like, oh, we have very little stuff on the shelves. Get it at a discount, and then they're gone like many dads who went out to get a pack of smokes and never returned. Except they come back. They come back a year later for the Halloween season. Um, Thank you for reaching our Spirit Children donation. All right, Spirit, glad to see they've got some philanthropic endeavors. You know what? I feel like I've gotten all I need from Spirit Halloween. Travis, thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, there's a sad panda. That feeling when your Spirit Halloween store is officially vacant again. Sorry, you got to wait till September or whenever for Spirit to come back. You're hanging out with your pal Hal. Again, you can talk to your device, use the word say. Tell us what you're snacking on. Tell us what you got up to this weekend. And you can also communicate with us by going to your computer and typing in backchannel.tv. Go to backchannel.tv and you'll be able to communicate with us here on the back channel. Type in your messages. Let us know, what are you snacking on? What are you up to? What did you do this weekend? I want to know. What did I do this weekend? I watched a bunch of movies. Listen, I devoured content. uh, Absolutely. And uh, also, but I did not go to the movies. Some people did go to the movies, though. And right now, we're going to talk about the weekend box office. Let's see what topped the charts at the box office this weekend. We're going to go 5 to 1. Here are the top 5 movies, BO wise. And I'm not talking about my armpits. My armpits smell pretty good. I'm showered. I got deodorant on. Leave me alone. Okay. Number 5. On this show, we've talked about it. We stand Dune. We stand dunes, sand dunes. Dune, the number 5 movie at the box office. That's where that they say that's where you should see it. They're like, you must have sustained a massive head injury if you didn't watch Dune in the theaters. Are you bloody daft, man? If you didn't see Dune in the movie theaters, I'm sorry, okay? It was free on HBO Max, and I just took that ball and ran with it. Dune, I watched on HBO Max a couple of times, and I still loved it. But probably I could see, yeah, it's like so many sweeping, beautiful vistas and powerful music. Great score for this film. Dune, worth seeing in the theaters. Came in 5th in the weekend box office with 3.1 million. And then coming in 4th, a movie that I guess it's in limited release this past weekend. That I watched this movie, and I'm going to talk about it in just a moment, give you a short review of it. King Richard. King Richard, the story about Richard Williams and the brilliant Williams sisters, Venus and Serena, coming in at 5.7, number 4 at the box office, number 4, and coming in at number 3, Clifford, the big red dog. Oh my goodness. Listen, I know he's big, very big, and very red. That's threatening. It's like I would be like, oh my God, a horror creature. But turns out Clifford the big red dog, he's a good boy. And he's a good boy at the box office too. Woof woof, 8.1 million. And coming in at numero dos, coming in at number 2. It's by all accounts, disappointing Marvel movie, The Eternals. Listen, I haven't seen it, and I don't feel compelled to. It just seems like there's a little too much world building. It seems to be a little bit of a snooze from what I've heard. But it's still doing some numbers at the box office, still doing some numbers. And the Eternals, or just Eternals, still coming in, cashing some checks at $10.8 million. $10.8 million for the Eternals. But yeah, this is one of the first Marvel movies that I'm just like, yeah, when it's on TV, I'll watch it. When it's for free on Disney Plus, I'll go there. But I feel like I don't need to go there right now. So the Eternals coming in at number two, and then for number one, the number one movie at the box office, kicking off its theatrical run, Ghostbusters Afterlife, $44 million, placing it easily number one. And people seem to really be digging Ghostbusters Afterlife. You know what? The critical review and the reaction from the fans has it's pushed me. I'm that much more inclined to see this and seek it out soon. So very cool. And by the way, falling out of the top five this week, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. James Bond, No Time to Die, did not make the top five. The the Wes Anderson film, The French Dispatch, a little bit disappointing as far as its box office haul. Belfast, I really want to see that. This Kenneth Branagh film, and then Ron's Gone Wrong, the animated movie. And let's look at total grosses for this top five films. Okay, well, notably, No Time to Die and Venom, which are 7 and 6 respectively, in the top 10 box office for the weekend. Total gross, these films doing well. No Time to Die, 154 million. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, a robust 2.6 million. Nicely done, Venom. Number five, Dune. Dune's going to get up to 100 million, but it's taken a minute to get there. Dune is clocking at 98 million. King Richard, in its first weekend, released 5.7 million. Yeah, we got to do a little better there because it was on over 3,000 screens. So not a tremendous showing for King Richard, but I'll tell you what, it's worth seeing. I'm going to dig into that in a little bit here. Clifford the Big Red Dog, it's been out for a couple weeks now, 33 million. Eternals, okay, it's not a complete flop at 135 million. And again, Ghostbusters Afterlife, this was its opening weekend, 44 million dollars for Ghostbusters Afterlife. And let's take a look. Let's see what some of the fan reviews of Ghostbusters Afterlife are saying, because it's getting a nice push from word of mouth. All right, fan reviews of Ghostbusters Afterlife. Okay. All right. The 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 the, the critics must be crazy. It's absolutely fantastic, say the fans. All right. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes here and see what the fans are saying about Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's directed by Jason Reitman, the son of the original Ghostbusters director, Ivan Reitman, starring Paul Rudd. You got Finn Wolfhard, who seems to be in everything nostalgic. You got Stranger Things, nostalgic, okay. Uh, you got It, nostalgic, okay. All right. Fan reviews looking very good. My family absolutely loved every moment, says Jennifer R. Tim L on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.5. That was 5 stars from Jennifer R. 3.5 stars from Tim L. Overall, a fun movie, great special effects, good plot. Okay. Daniel Ott, loved it. Very well done. If you have the ability to sit through the end credits, you'll be rewarded. Okay. Thank you for the tip. Sit through the end credits. You never know. Like Marvel and DC have conditioned me for end credit scenes. So I'm like, now I'll stay through like weird dramas, thinking like, wait, there could be an end credit scene. And yeah, no, sir, this is Dunkirk. Okay, there's no end credit scene. all good reviews. Let's see if there's any bad reviews. Let's see if there's anyone who really disliked. But the the overall, the Rotten Tomatoes, it's got like a 90% audience score, 90 plus. So, okay, here's a 1 star. I left the movie halfway in. It was boring, took way too long to get the excitement. Okay, Tara D says, not for me, not for me. But overall, it's like sifting through, like, trying to find like a needle in a haystack to find uh, one bad review of this movie from the fans. Okay, here's Peter. Peter says, I don't care for movies that feature children in prominent roles. That's an interesting hot take from Peter. I don't care for movies that feature children in prominent roles. That's funny. I okay, Peter. Um, but then he goes on to say, I went to the movie because of the appearance of the original cast. Was great to see them, but their screen time was only about 5 minutes. Very disappointing. Okay. Uh, Peter, not going to watch The Goonies. Peter, not going to watch Stand By Me. That's your prerogative. There were some sincere moments that called out the previous movie, but that's it. Nothing spectacular. I like the previous movie more, and I love the originals. Good enough for a theater, but just once. Okay, not a terrible review. And yeah, oh, here's a 2 star review from Elusive Pursuit, is the name of this user on Rotten Tomatoes. The comic relief did not work at all in this film. The actors were fine, but the funny parts weren't funny. The beginning was completely drawn out, too long. All the action, best part of the film was probably the last 15 minutes when Bill Dan. Okay, so it's spoiler. You're going to have appearance of some other the original Ghostbuster. I think we knew that already. Uh, Also, the cameos were a nice add. That's it. I'm sure I would have enjoyed the the blueberry pecan pancakes at Cracker Barrel much more and paid much less. If you just want something to do, go see it. So he wishes he went to Cracker Barrel for pancakes instead of Ghostbusters. So there you have it, a bunch of reviews of Ghostbusters Afterlife. The choice is yours, folks. Did you see any movies? What's the last movie you saw? Let us know in the comments. It is right before 12:15 on the West Coast. It's 12:14. It is 3:14 on the East Coast. I'm going to be here till 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 1 o'clock on the West Coast. You are hanging out with your pal Hal. Let us know, what is the last movie you saw? You get your device's attention. Use the word say and then drop the info in there. Say, the last movie I saw was Michael Clayton. Say, the last movie I saw was the Royal Tenenbaums. Say, the last movie I saw, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Or you can communicate with us by going to backchannel.tv and typing in what you want to say there. All right. Let's check out. We've got some more fun and games coming up here. All right. Let's go to reviews and recommendations. Reviews and recommendations. I'm going to tell you about some stuff that's streaming, and I'm going to let you know if it's worth checking out. So, we talked about a few of these things that I'm going to mention last week, letting you know that they are coming out. Now, I'm going to give you my 2 cents on them to let you know if it's worth watching. First off, I watched the Alanis Morissette documentary coming to you from HBO and HBO Max. It's called Jagged, taking its name from her album, Jagged Little Pill. And I believe it is the 25th anniversary of that album, one of the highest selling albums of all time. Jagged Little Pill is one of the top 12 selling albums. Hard to believe, but like, yeah, this album was kind of a cultural phenomenon. From what I remember seeing in the documentary, I did not know this before, the second highest selling album in the 90s and one of the top 12 selling albums of all time. So Alanis Morissette's album Jagged, a huge monster success, and there are so many memorable songs on there. So I thought this documentary from HBO Music Box, they have a Music Box series. They also did a documentary on Woodstock 99 recently, which really did a nice job of recounting the mayhem and the crimes and just the horrific collapse that happened at that music festival. It just turned into a big old nightmare. But this documentary about Alanis Morissette, it's well done, but it struck me as a little bit longer behind the music. If anyone remembers that VH1 show Behind the Music, it wasn't like it. They didn't take as many uh, directorial directorial liberties in the making of this film. It was extremely straightforward. It started out with her childhood. It went through to her becoming kind of a child star. She was on a show on Nickelodeon in the 80s, I guess, 80s, early 90s. You can't do that on television, which I remember from early Nickelodeon days. And then it went through her career and spent much of the time, the bulk of the time, about exploring the release of Jagged Little Pill, her album, and her 18-month tour. And it's interesting. It's well done. It's filled with information, but it is very straightforward and they don't take as much artistic liberty, or they don't try to get the moments in her life to really resonate and do a deep dive into any one thing that made her tick, if that makes sense. And some things, some of the troubles that she may have experienced along the way are touched on, and then they move on from it. Overall, I definitely enjoyed it. It gave me all the information. I learned about her, I learned about the album, and you did get to hear many of the great songs that are prominent on this album. Oh, so as far as Chai joined the stream, Elizabeth joined the stream. Good to see y'all. Chai coming to us from Hungary. What up, Budapest? Hungary in the house. I love it. And so, talking about back to Jagged Little Pill and the documentary Jagged. One interesting thing, and as I watched this, I was kind of playing this game. What was it in the documentary that caused Alanis Morissette to kind of disavow from the documentary? Because she is present. She is interviewed throughout, present the whole time. Often. And there's great footage of her and her with her family, her at home, present day, talking about her Broadway show, Jagged Little Pill, which celebrates the album. But here's the interesting thing, the interesting wrinkle. She is not pleased with how the documentary turned out, and she has decided not to go on the press tour. Now, Travis and I talked about this last week. I found a quote from her, and I'm not sure if I don't think we read this last week. If we did, well, I'm going to read it again. This is some really interesting stuff from Alanis Morissette that kind of I would say, listen to this and then watch the film and maybe judge for yourself. What was it? But this is tough. It's tough being under this microscope, the spotlight of fame. Here we go. Kind of an enlightening quote. This is from Alanis Morissette. I agreed to participate in a piece about the celebration of Jagged Little Pill's 25th anniversary and was interviewed during a very vulnerable time while in the midst of my third postpartum depression during lockdown. I was lulled into a false sense of security, and their salacious agenda became apparent immediately upon my seeing the first cut of the film. This is when I knew our visions were, in fact, painfully diverged. This was not the story I agreed to tell. I sit here now experiencing the full impact of having trusted someone who did not warrant being trusted. Wow, that's really casting aspersions on the filmmakers here who do not warrant being trusted. I have chosen not to attend any events around this movie for two reasons. One is that I am on tour right now. The other is that, not unlike many quote unquote stories and unauthorized biographies out there over the years, this one includes implications and facts that simply that are simply not true. While there is beauty and some elements of accuracy in this, my story, to be sure, I ultimately won't be supporting someone else's reductive take on a story much too nuanced for them to ever grasp or tell. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff there. So, and there are elements, there are things that are touched on and alluded to here that, and where it's definitely cloudy. There are some things about, and this is tough subject matter, and I respect Alanis Morissette's choices here. I mean, who am I? Like, I'm just like, yeah, but like, it's her story. She doesn't like the way it's told. There was stuff about the sexual exploitation of some of the fans by her bandmates on tour. There was stuff about her journey as uh, going from a teenager to an adult in this industry and what it did to her. So it's interesting hearing her take. The film is out there. You can be your own judge. I'd say it's worth watching. I'd give it out of 5 stars. I'd give it a nice 3 stars. No regrets about watching it. It wasn't like it didn't sweep me away. It didn't take me on like any kind of like artistic journey. It was very like by the numbers, like bullet point. Here is information, one piece after another, telling the linear story of Alanis Morissette, her rise to fame, and the release of that album. Jagged is available on HBO Max now. Also available on HBO Max, King Richard. So I've been hyping this up. Last week we had like a whole episode where I just like fanned out on Will Smith and also pleaded for Will and Jada Smith to potentially adopt me because they are they are Hollywood royalty, and I want to live. I want to live in the. I just want to taste. I want to drink from the chalice of the royalty that is the Smith family. I will be a big brother to Jaden and Willow if you would have me. I feel like those pleas will fall on deaf ears. But King Richard is out on HBO Max now. I watched it this weekend and doggone it, I love this film. Will Smith disappeared into the role of Richard Williams. His performance, like you forget you're watching Will Smith a little bit, and it is a different version of him that you're not used to seeing, and he's he's so there, and you are happy, you are riding the emotions, you're hurting for him, you're happy for him, you're you you're you forgive him for any misgivings. You forgive him for was he too rough with his with with the way he trained them? Well, the end result tells the story, and um, so maybe he was rough on Venus and Serena, but it paid off. Now I wonder though. Some people criticize the film for painting too glowing of a picture of Richard Williams. Like, was he like you've heard of stage moms, obviously. There's a show called Dance Moms, Toddlers and Tiaras. We have seen like the toxicity of parents who are trying to push their child into stardom, like become the breadwinner. Listen, I've been in. This is not a humble brag. This is just not even. It's not even anything to brag about. But like I've done a bunch of commercials in my life. I go to commercial auditions and Hollywood casting places, and you can see it right there. Like moms telling their kids to get their crap together. It's a thing. Parents pushing too hard. Soccer moms, sports parents. What did he go too far? Well, he's got two of the greatest of all time. So maybe it was just right. And his story, it's like not just Will Smith's performance, but it's really well told here. And here's the thing: if you look too closely at the movie, you'll see, hmm, it is a little bit by the numbers in the construction and how the story is told. But that's the thing. You have to look very closely. Otherwise, it does a nice job of kind of covering it up. Like the the storytelling motifs where it's like, "Oh, I've seen this construction of a movie before. Someone down on their luck and their rise to prominence. Someone no one believed in this character, whether the story's true or a fictionalized story, whether it's like Rocky or whether it's the story of Invincible, the guy that Mark Wahlberg played who tried out for the Philadelphia Eagles and like no one believed in him, or Eminem's story, 8 Mile. Like there are parallels to this. Like I have a dream, no one believes in me. I'm coming up, then I get a setback, but you know what? Now I achieve my dreams, and so it has that construction, but it's so well done. And I think part of that is goes obviously Will Smith carries the movie. I think you know Will Smith might be holding a gold trophy in March at the Oscar ceremonies, but also the entire cast, the girls that play Venus and Serena, they just like they radiate likability. They are just having fun, but they're working hard. The tennis sequences are so well filmed, and these young actors like are just crushing it. And then the rest of the Williams family are very good. And then the coaches, the actors who play the coaches, John Bernthal and Tony. Uh, Let me look up that actor name. He was in. I remember him as the bad guy in the movie Ghost. Uh, Tony Goldwyn. Tony Goldwyn is that actor's name. Yeah, like the coaches who they bring in later to work with Venus and Serena are excellent, and just overall, it's such a fun, exciting watch. And you know, I'm not afraid to tell you that it'll give you the feels too. It'll absolutely give you the feels. Uh, and it's just really worth watching. It's there on HBO Max, and just a well-told story. I would give this film out of 5 stars, 4.5 stars. I would give it 4.5 stars. I liked the hell out of it, and like, and I watched the first half of it twice. Like, I watched the first half, and then I went to sleep, and I'm because it was like after 1 in the morning. I'm like, oh, and I think my wife wants to watch it too, so I didn't want to be in the doghouse because I watched something. You know how you make a deal to watch something with your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, husband, whatever. So I wanted to save the rest of it. And so I went to sleep, and I'm like, okay, I'll putz around on the computer or something, or do occupy myself while she watches the first half of it. No, like once she turned it on, I was just riveted again. I was just enjoying it again. I watched the first half a second time without even thinking. So King Richard, super likable. Will Smith crushes. The rest of the cast on point. Well done, well told story. Check out King Richard, available on HBO Max. One more thing that I watched, Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time, it's available on Amazon. I think there are a few episodes out right now. I watched the first episode. Wheel of Time is based on a fantasy series of books, uh, and series of books from the authors Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson, and it just dropped on Amazon Prime, starring Rosamund Pike, and this was fun. I liked it, but here's the thing: a lot of people are comparing it to Game of Thrones. I think it's like very different from Game of Thrones in as much as, and don't forget, Game of Thrones came to us in a different era. It was like maybe Netflix was around already, sure, but the streaming services were not the way they are now. You had less choices for your prestige entertainment, for these prestige 1 hour shows. And Game of Thrones was like its own unique thing. It had a built in fandom from the books, but it took its time. Game of Thrones, like the world building, the character building, it was immense, it was layered. Whereas Wheel of Time, now we're in a brand new era of TV where it's like, you got to get to it. You got to hook people. Otherwise, they'll be like, not for me. And guess what? I've got a million other viewing choices. So we're in a totally different era. Game of Thrones, it's like, okay, if I want to scratch that fantasy itch, I can, there's a lot of other stuff for me. But, or sorry, Game of Thrones, if you want to scratch that fantasy itch, there's not a lot of stuff. Sorry. And it's like, I'll ride it out. Let's see where it goes. And also, Game of Thrones was excellent. So good. So you were along for the ride. You went on that journey. You were immersed. Wheel of Time. It seems to me that they got off to the races so much faster. Like a little less, like you get a snippet, you get a taste of all these characters, and then it's like inciting incident, game on. We have a huge battle where like orc type creatures, like you remember orcs from Lord of the Rings, the classic D&D. Uh, so some orc-like creatures, not orcs, but for the purposes of this conversation, I'm calling them orcs. And they descend upon this village. There's a huge battle after we get introduced to these characters. We barely know anything, like, but we just know there is one. There is like the chosen one who could be evil or could be good, has been born. And these orcs want to get the chosen one. And Rosamund Pike is like this good sorceress, we think. It seems like who arrives at this town to save the the life of the potential chosen one, and there are four potential people who might be the chosen one. So it sets everything up very clear. Like, what the journey is going to be. Rosamund Pike has to save these kids and find which of these teenagers is the chosen one, and the bad guy army of orcs wants to kill them. It's like, we got all this stuff. Like, here's the thing: when Game of Thrones first started, we didn't know all about like the 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 dragons and the Night's Watch and the Lannisters in the first episode. It unfolded slower. This is different kind of storytelling. It's like, we got to get you hooked right now. We're off to the races. Like there was a huge battle in this show. Game of Thrones slow played it a lot more. So just the obvious comparison, because there are a lot of comparisons. Just look at that. Can we get a close up of the Wheel of Time symbol right there above Rosamund Pike in between those pillars? Like, that Wheel of Time symbol is very similar to the Game of Thrones symbol. Like, they are giving you Game of Thrones feels to connect you to Wheel of Time here. But I enjoyed it. I'm going to watch more. I'm going to give this show that much more of a chance. It's interesting. We're off to the races. So Wheel of Time, I'd give it 3 stars right now. It didn't blow my mind, but it moved quickly. The storytelling I thought was done uh, with with a deft hand, and we are just pulled right into the action. I liked that because I've seen some other uh, fan like the show Foundation on Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus. I That was a slower burn. So much world building, and it's like, what is happening? So Wheel of Time, worth checking out. Those are my reviews and recommendations. All three things that I watched there, worth watching. But yeah, Jagged, and Wheel of Time. You know what? If you've got the time, watch them. King Richard, watch that movie. Will Smith knocks it out of the park. Let's shift gears now. Oh my goodness. Everyone loves our segment, This or That. This is a segment where we give you two things. You tell us which you prefer. That's how that works. Are you with this or are you with that? By the way, it is 12:37 on the West Coast. It is 3:37 on the East Coast. I'm going to be with you to the top of the hour. And if you want to participate in this or that, if you want to tell us which of the things we're talking about you prefer, here's how you do it. Go ahead and get your device's attention. Use the word say and then drop that in the feed. Okay, so say, get your device and then say this or say that, and your vote will be counted. Or if you want to connect with us on another device, on your computer, go to backchannel.tv and you can talk to us there. Your pal Hal Rudnick, hanging out with you. I want to hear from you. All right, let's jump into a little this or that. Oh my goodness. You know what? We're going to save the weird one. I got a weird one, and then I got a more traditional one. Let's start with the more traditional one because the weird one is a little too weird to start with. Okay, you want a nice sandwich for lunch, a nice filling sandwich. Which direction do you go? Lobster roll or Philly cheesesteak? Bam. That's what I'm talking about. A hearty lunch. One, it like a nice Maine lobster roll. And then with your lobster roll, which way do you go? Are you mayonnaise or are you butter? I'm a butter guy with lobster rolls all day long. Roxanne joined the stream. Roxanne, peace. Welcome to the party. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with your pal Hal. Lobster rolls, I love a buttery lobster roll. If it's a mayonnaise lobster roll, deal breaker for me. I can't do it. Travis, nicely done. Always finds an image for us. Okay? And the cheesesteak, a classic. Oh, filling, satisfying sandwich. So the cheesesteak, so with a lobster roll, it's like butter or mayo. With a cheesesteak, you got whiz or provolone. And we were talking about food cities last week or the week before. What is your preference there? Do you like the cheese whiz or do you like the provolone? I'm a little bit more of a provolone guy, but I feel cheese whiz gets an extra bad rap from people who are not in the know because it's a spray cheese out of a can. So if you had to pick one of these delicious sandwiches, which would it be? The lobster roll, the Philly cheesesteak. I want to know. It is this is a tough choice. Lobster, it's a little bit more of a like it's a delicacy. It's not a delicacy, but it's going to be a little pricier. Lobster, yeah, kind of a delicacy from the sea. Cheesesteak, a little bit more of like, yeah, quick and dirty. You get it at the corner cheesesteak shop, but oh, so satisfying. Like a great cheesesteak, like a really delicious cheesesteak with good bread. Oh, forget it. But then the lobster, you got like, look at that bread. Like you could see the bread right there. It's like sourdough and it's buttery. Oh, mamma mia. Let's bring in producer Travis. We need a little help with this question. Producer Travis,
Yaha.
Uh, which of these sandwiches would you F with? Which of these sandwiches would you F with? The lobster roll or the Philly cheesesteak? Well, now I know you're not. Are you not a big seafood guy? Did we talk about that?
Nah, this is really putting me in the torture chamber here.
Gotcha. So let's say dietarily you don't have any restriction.
Got it.
Like you could take a magic pill that'd be like, oh, I will be perfectly fine after I eat one of these. We're just going by taste.
Just going by taste, cheesesteak all day, every day.
Gotcha. Okay. So have you done the buttery lobster roll?
I have not. Seafood is one of those things that it falls in the same category as peanut butter, where I will lie about being allergic to get out of eating it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You and I have very different palates, my friend, but it's okay because it takes a village. It takes a village, Travis. Uh, yeah. Okay. If you're gonna go cheesesteak, I can't let cheesesteak walk away with this without a fight. So I'm going lobster roll. I'm going lobster roll. You know what? And we may never answer this question. Does anyone out there have an opinion on cheesesteak versus lobster roll? It is so tough, but okay, I'll qualify it. Here is my final ruling. It's cheesesteak if you have a disgusting mayonnaise laden lobster roll. Uh, sorry, mayo fans. I the way Travis feels about seafood and peanut butter is the way I feel about mayo. All right? That's it. I'm not a mayonnaise guy. I love mustard. I love mustard on most of my sandwiches. But so if you have a mayo Cool Whip, whatever it is, like the mayo replacement lobster roll, I'm going cheesesteak 8 days a week. But if it's a buttery lobster roll, oh, ooh, talk to me. You're speaking my language with a crispy sourdough bun with butter and browned like that. Lobster roll. So this is a qualified answer. We're qualifying it. Did not quite decide it today. The battle rages on. Maybe we'll revisit that down the road. Who knows? Lobster roll versus cheesesteak. All right, Travis, I want you to come on in here and I want to talk to you through this really bizarre this or that. And
Yeah.
I think we need your real time reactions. This might be our craziest, weirdest, most off putting this or that to date.
Okay.
Listen, neither of these is advantageous. No one would want any of this. No one wants any of this smoke. But if it came down to it, you had to pick one. Would you rather be caught? Let me see just how I phrased it again. Would you rather be caught picking your nose or caught scratching your butt?
Oh boy.
Would you rather be caught? So I'm not saying digging into your butt. Like, I don't need to get too deep into that, but like, you're not like all up in there, but you are clearly like, you know, like cheek near the outside of the pant,
Right.
scratching
The
crack.
old the old
Outside of the
hike.
pant, scratch, hike and scratch,
Right.
a hike and scratch,
Hike and
or
scratch.
picking the nose. Let us know if
Ah.
you're listening. Travis, I'm anxious to hear your real time response to this. Let us know if you're listening
I
in
also I think I
uh,
have something for this too.
oh my goodness, that is like
Yeah.
that is remarkable. If
Yeah.
you're if you want to take part, it is 12:45 p.m. on the West Coast, 3:45 p.m. on the East Coast. If you want to comment, go ahead and get your device's attention. Use the word "say" and tell us, "Say this is a terrible choice." Say neither. Why are you doing this to me? Or say scratching the butt, or say picking the nose.
Yeah.
And you can also communicate by going to backchannel.tv. Travis, Can we see the image?
Yeah, I think I found the perfect representation of this question.
Yes. Yeah,
Come on,
pretty
man.
much. This guy's
Come on, man.
expression says it all.
Come on, man.
No,
Come on, man.
dude. Dude, why?
Come on, man.
For
Come
serious,
on.
dude. Why? All right, Travis.
Yes.
Where do you land on this? Full pick.
If
It's not like, oh, what, is it a scratch? Like, look at me right now. Look. It's like this.
full.
I have to wipe my finger on a tissue right now. Sorry, everyone.
Thank God I was in the half screen.
Yes.
I would say, given the options, I personally would rather be caught with the butt scratch because it's just something that I think happens more unconsciously. The nose pick is sort of a deliberate act, and it really involves a lot more because it's like it's a smaller target, and you've got to be going for something in particular.
Yes.
Whereas the butt scratch is like, oh, I have an itch. It happens to be in my butt. I'm gonna scratch it, and
Right.
then there you go.
Right.
And there's much, and it's not skin to skin. It's through the pants. It's just, yeah, all things considered, it's more of a, it insanely, it's a more hygienic thing to be caught in the act of doing, for my mind.
Right. Now, if it was an in the pants butt scratch, that's probably a bridge too far. I might go nose pick, but
Yeah.
I think you summed it up very nicely. I think Travis, are you a sociologist? Because I think like you really have your finger on the pulse of human behavior there. It is a little bit more involuntary. You're walking, you get like the fabric is weird or something. People don't have to know what your business is like underneath
Hmm.
the pant, under your skirt or whatever it is you're wearing, and you're just like a little adjust. Everybody does it, but the nose pick is the more conscious decision, unless you are like just like I unconsciously pick my nose. I am pickbot. I am pickbot 2000. There is the booger. Beep 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 beep. Booger. Touchdown. Booger. We have booger. We have arrived at full booger. Where do you, Travis?
Yeah.
You ever pick your nose?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. What do
Sure.
you do with the boogers?
Depends. I try to be as hygienic as possible. I'm not trying to mark my territory
Ooh,
around the
la
house, so to
di
speak.
da! I'm a little prince who lives in a castle.
This is a very different energy than the top of the show. Um,
Sorry, I
no, 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 no,
listen.
no.
I apologize to producer Travis. I attacked him there for being hygienic.
That's fine. I've been attacked for worse. The pick and flick is acceptable outdoors,
Okay,
and
thank
outside of
you.
that, you better be in a controlled environment where you know where you're going to go with it.
What about the pick and smear?
Ugh, nothing.
Under a desk, under a chair.
Depends on the establishment. If you have ire towards the place that you are in, that can be a way to get out some much needed pent up aggression. But if you're at
Right.
like, an establishment you respect or someplace is never where your friend's house, like,
Yes.
come on, come on, come on.
Travis, you know what? I attacked you, but now I'm eating my words because I completely agree. I completely agree. The pick and flick acceptable outdoors. If you're inside, feel free to pick, but have that tissue on deck. Have
Yeah.
that tissue on deck, and maybe some Purell or go wash your hands. Uh, Travis, thank you for being a moral compass in just a sea of boogers. All right. It is time for the last segment of the show. We do this just about every day. It is called Rejected Segments. Like, you might be like, oh my goodness, how did all those you mean there are segments that didn't make it in the show after you did all that stuff? You spent 5 minutes talking about boogers? Listen, you put us through 5 minutes of booger talk? Then, yes, we did. And now we're going to tell you what did not make the cut. Boogers made the cut. This stuff did not. What is wrong with us? I don't know. But Here we go. Oh, our first segment, we were going to do a deep dive. We're going to do about 15 minutes called Lamps, a Celebration. It would have been largely visual. We would have been looking at lamps, reading about lamps, doing a deep dive into the history of lamps, the uh, the a lamp that has a fire in it, like a lantern, and then when electricity came around, or battery powered lamps, nice Tiffany lamp with a colored glass lampshade. Listen, it would have been a lampapalooza. It would have been lamptastic. It would have been very lamp centric. In the words of Steve Carell, I love lamp. In the words of Lamps Plus, shout out Lamps Plus. Go do a super close up. Make it so big that it blurs out. Go, 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 go. Can you do any more? Can we get any more? Okay, that's maxed out. But oh my god, look in the window there. So many lampshades, so many lit lamps. What about chandeliers? Hey, Travis,
Yeah.
is a chandelier a lamp?
I think you know what?
Can,
You know what?
what? You're looking up. Okay, is a chandelier a lamp? A
Gr-
chandelier uh, is a branched ornamental light fixture designed to be mounted on the ceiling. Okay, is a ceiling like if you have a ceiling fan? Is the lamp on that ceiling fan? Is the light on that ceiling fan a lamp?
I guess not. Those would be a fixture.
Aha.
Ceiling light. Yeah, I guess that is separate. Maybe lamps imply shades.
Okay. Okay. Got it. See, this is now we're doing this.
We're just doing. We end up
We're
doing the
doing
segment
the
every
segment.
time.
We end up doing the segment every time. Travis, come on.
I'm sorry.
Don't enable me. Don't enable me to do this lamp segment. But thank you for bringing up that picture of Lamps Plus. I always appreciate it. Travis, thank you for just always being Johnny on the spot. All right, so that was a rejected segment that we ended up doing a minute of. So that's just a taste. And then the second rejected segment, just reading from a Mazda Miata owner's manual. Like Mazda Miata, if listen, if you wanted a, a an affordable roadster in the 90s and maybe 2000s, you could have done a lot worse. Actually, maybe you couldn't have done worse. That's the Mazda Miata. Like, okay, you want to cruise with that wind in your hair, rag top down, radio blaring. Nothing like riding in a convertible on a nice day. Ooh, baby. There it is. We th- th- we wouldn't have been like necessarily extolling the virtues. We would have been reading the manual. So let me read the cover here. Easy to use, over 350 pages and over 1,000 illustrations, hands-on maintenance and repair, full step-by-step strip down and rebuild. The Mazda MX-5 Miata Enthusiast's Workshop Manual. Now, this seems like even a little bit more exciting. The owner's manual. This looks like it's different. This is the workshop manual as opposed to the owner's manual. Oh, there's a couple of badass. We saw a couple of nice. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. So just dry, just like verbiage about stuff that we might not have been able to even put a visual to, like how does the glove box work? How does the parking brake work? Just, you know, too dry, not sexy enough, not as sexy as cruising in the like the fuel, the miles per gallon stats. Yeah, that's a lot of boring crap that you should be glad that we did not do and we're not going to do right now. Travis, thank you for bringing up those images. And thank you, everybody, for kicking it right here with your pal Hal. I have had so much fun chit chatting with y'all today. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for giving us your time. And we're going to be here. We are here 5 days a week. This week we will be off Thanksgiving, but back Friday. And otherwise, we're here 5 days a week, 2 hours a day, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the West Coast, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the East Coast. Your pal Hal taking you through this cavalcade of good times on Backchannel. And stick with Backchannel for there are shows here. There are informative, funny, interesting shows happening on Backchannel all the time. Thanks again for listening. Please join us tomorrow. Thanks to everyone at Backchannel. Thank you, producer Travis, for keeping it real. And thanks again to everybody who hung out with us today. Bye bye now.